Yo, it's day 3 and you're back with me, Anthony. So yeah, guys, as we said, this is the week of ministry. We wanted to make up for how 2022 was a bit shaky. We came back, but it was only about prediction shows. So we got many plans and we're keeping it going, we're keeping it flowing, we're keeping it rocking, we're keeping it rolling. So guys, because you stuck with us for 3 days in a row, nearly at the halfway point, you know what we've done? We're giving you 2 awards for the price of 1, because we initially was going to have it as 5. It didn't work out in terms of building it in the way of it being a pre-New Year show. So we made it a New Year show, a week of ministry, and we've just split up some of the awards. That's why some of the words might sound a bit like, why did they mention that? It's because we've all pre-recorded our stuff. None of us actually communicated with the others. That was also the magic of this. No one knows what the other voted. So today we are going for Tag Team of the Year and Faction of the Year. No, the NWO are not in there because they've not been about for the past 20 odd years. However, Bullet Club may be there, the club, the OC. There's a few people who still throw this up, so it's there. Are they in there? Are they up for contention? I don't know. You don't know? Well, there's only one way to find out, so let's not waste any time and let's talk about, first of all, the Tag Team of the Year contenders.
Tag team and faction, this is going to be a strange one, because while I appreciate it's really easy to pull for the Usos because they are the reigning tag champs, they've set this record-setting, record-breaking run. Let's also remember that record-breaking run has been void of a lot of challenge, and this is not their fault. The two men are incredibly talented. It is down to the fact that WWE have not properly booked a tag team division over the course of the last 18 months. So while the record may be incredible as a number, the reality is that for me it's a bit empty and void. So for that reason, I'm going to say that the Tag Team of the Year, just because, to quote Sheamus, it is banger after banger after banger, it can only be the Young Bucks over on AEW.
Tag Team of the Year. This is a tough one. You know, you look at the factions and you'll say something like the Usos, they're holding the gold, they're doing it all. The Acclaimed, it's really hard to not pick the Acclaimed because I love the Acclaimed. Everybody loves the Acclaimed. You know, the Young Bucks, Death Triangle, they've made the Trios title something because of that. There are many strong teams. You want to go with someone like the Usos, but you got to feel that because of the Bloodline storyline, there's not been real big competition. It just feels like cannon fodder. Everyone's just fallen because it's all part of the bigger storyline, which revolves around Roman. And if they fall, then you knew the Roman fall was coming. So it didn't happen just then. But there is one team that, to me, that personally sticks out, and that is FTR. Yeah, the top guys are in. It's all about the top guys right now because, you know, they're holding. I said the Usos are holding all the gold. The FTR are holding it around multiple promotions. They may not be the top AEW guys. They may not be the WWE title holders, but they are that tag team. You know, even when the AEW game was coming out and we heard FTR weren't going to be in the game, my instant reaction was, how are your tag champs not in the game? They weren't the tag champs. It was Swerve and Our Glory, but that's how much focus FTR have put on a non-WWE scene, that they are the ones that people think about with all the titles. So for me, the top guys are out, but they're also in, because that's my pick for Tag Team of the Year. Leon's Tag Team of the Year, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos.
Right, yeah, so once again, it's me, you know, Dan the Tech. I got to make my pick for best Tag Team of the Year, and it's not even that hard, actually. It's the Acclaim, just simple. I'm the wrestling fan that don't really watch wrestling, but they got my attention. The rapping when they come out, oh, they cut deep. And of course they cut deep because they have grown men saying, "Scissor me, daddy." Bro, they come on, man. They're just amazing. Love them. And the dope part is, it's never about their wrestling. It's just the entrance is so good. And I always say, when you have a great entrance, you already won over the crowd. Then let's go out there and do your thing. Yeah, boom. My top Tag Team of the Year, the Acclaim.
So, Tag Team and Faction of the Year. Again, you know, there's many great names, many contenders. But when I'm talking about tag teams, I've got to go. Oh, now this is really hard. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Acclaimed. Simply because, like, these guys started out the year as, like, you know, borderline a jobber tag team, really. Like they show up on Rampage, have an entertaining segment, but then ultimately lose quite often. But from that, they built themselves up to being the most popular team, babyface team in probably the industry, and for that deserves major respect. Plus, it also helps that they got Billy Gunn to get a whole new generation of children in trouble with his new slogan, "Sesame Daddy."
So, guys, this is the most split it's been. Normally, we've had about 3 selections. This time, you guys have got 4. So, once again, just to give you a quick little reminder of the 4 teams you are able to vote for to be the Tag Team of the Year, they are FTR, the Young Bucks, the Acclaimed, and the ones, Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. So, guys, how do you get to vote for them? It's pretty simple. All you do is you head on over to @Ministry of Wrestling on Instagram or @MOW News on Twitter. We will have the polls there. Each of the names will be there, and you will be able to select your given choice of a winner. Once again, that's Ministry of Wrestling on Instagram, MOW News on Twitter, and also, I keep saying that at each show, comment below. If you comment below, we can consider it. If we start to see a trending name, it might be like, hey, what does the ministry know? So that's the way we're going to go about it. Okay, guys, we said it. You've pretty much reached the halfway line with us, so we're giving you 2 for the price of 1 today. So the next one that we had, kind of similar and in line with Tag Team of the Year, it's the Faction of the Year. It's a tag team, but a little bigger, you know? So here we go. We're going to put it out there. Here are the ministry's contenders for Faction of the Year.
Right, what's up? Then Tech once again. I'm gonna keep saying that. Anyway, I gotta pick best faction / tag of the year, and being that I don't really watch that much wrestling, and there's been one faction constantly everyone keeps talking about. That's right, Bloodline. Strictly, Sami Zayn is in there, and he's entertained me. So yeah, you got Sami, you got Roman, who's actually really doing good now, not wrestling as much, but smashing it. Everyone brought up Sequoia. I don't know, y'all would know better than me, but I'm gonna go with Bloodline. Best faction / tag team of the year.
However, I do believe that the faction of the year, much for the reasons that I mentioned my superstar of the year, who that was, faction of the year, you have to give it to the Bloodline. They are the biggest draw in wrestling. They've got the most interesting story revolving around them right now, with when they're going to turn on Sami, and also who's obviously going to dethrone Roman, because that is coming. That's what the whole build has been, and it's been amazing storytelling. And because of the stories around them, because of how much Solo Sikoa has come on, because of the dynamic and ever-changing dynamic between all 5 of the men, you're never sure who's going to stab who in the back. You're never sure who's actually going to be friends for the long run. Just everything revolving around the bloodline is gold. So faction of the year, just because they're pure box office, you have to give it to the Bloodline.
Faction of the Year, as much as I have my answer, very similar to my Superstar of the Year. It's been tough because, you know, the House of Black are doing awesome stuff from AEW. That's my team out there. And then you look at something like Judgment Day. Judgment Day were absolutely nothing at the beginning of the year, and they have just elevated and become something that people talk about. People are looking forward to Dominic Mysterio's videos during the holiday season. Rhea Ripley, Mami is the main person, but with all of that going on, you know, even the Brawling Brutes leveling up, there is only one team worth mentioning. The ones. The Bloodline, they're holding the gold, they're running the show, they're doing what it is, and everyone's just waiting to see what happens next. And Sami Zayn is even providing the comedy. It's just absolutely insane what they're doing. You cannot bet against the Bloodline. It's not been wise to do it.
So then, we got to think about factions. And for me, you know, through the has-beens and great factions, it's not really even close. The Bloodline. The Bloodline, you know, they'd be the most dominant, faction, perhaps of all time. On paper, maybe, you know, some people have their nostalgia picks as being superior, which is fine. But on paper, at least, you've had the guy, the main guy, the leader, Roman Reigns, has been champion for what? We're going on 3 years now, and he's holding both the major belts. it had the Usos become the longest tag teams like ever for both Raw and SmackDown. Yeah, holding their belts. Sequoia, debuted. He was great, and of course, like Sami Zayn does. He knocked it out of the park. He's basically given so much more longevity to the storyline. It's untrue. So yeah.
Leon's faction of the year. Acknowledge them. The ones. The bloodline. Throw those ones up, guys. Yeah, bit of a spoiler. So yeah, it is 2 for 2, but there is no vote here. You can head on over to Ministry of Wrestling on Instagram. You can head on over to MOW News on Twitter. There is nothing to vote for. It's unanimous. You have to acknowledge the bloodline, the faction of the year, the wise man, Paul Heyman, the honorary Uso, Sami Zayn, Jimmy and Jay Uso, their younger brother, the hardest of them all, Solo Sikoa, and of course, the head of the table, the tribal chief, the man who just can't be stopped. It's coming up to like 3 years since this man has been pinned. Roman Reigns. So yeah, guys, that's the one. There is no vote. If you feel there is a faction out there, I challenge you to comment below. Please hit us up below. But instead, there's nothing you can comment below apart from I acknowledge. But if you can, I welcome it. But please, even if you don't acknowledge, please like, please subscribe, please comment, and please share. Share it. Let people know that the ministry has said that these guys are the ones. Let us know if we're wrong. We welcome the challenge. But once again, guys, what you can vote for today is the tag team of the year. Is that FTR? Is it the Young Bucks? Is it the Acclaimed? Is it the ones who are part of the faction of the year, the Usos? All you have to do, once again, head on over to Ministry of Wrestling on Instagram or MOW News on Twitter. And again, the winner will officially be announced for tag team of the year. And if you can sway us from the ones, they will also be announced on our New Year show in week 2. But this, guys, is episode 3 of 7 Days of the Ministry. We thank you once again. Please spread the word. We appreciate you, and I will see you for day 4 tomorrow. Until then, I am the one AJ.